Greetings, petrolheads! Welcome back to Car Mechanic Simulator 2015, and look at what we got. It's a Salem Flammo, finally. There we go. So this has been requested a while ago, but I just couldn't find one in the auction center. I apologize, but at the same time, it's not really my fault, is it? And yeah, so now we took away all of the exterior parts that are obviously like shitty and that were still there because some parts were already missing, like the rear bumper and all that. So yeah, let's replace the rims and, you know, everything we can here. Then we're gonna sell our inventory as usual, and then we're gonna buy the parts that we need for this car. So my first ever Twitch stream about automation went, I mean, the technical things went alright, but well, I probably should have announced it a little bit earlier, because the maximum amount of views I had was like 3, and obviously I didn't expect 300 viewers or something like that, but I thought maybe like 10, 15, maybe 20, but you know, 3 was the maximum amount. So I guess I shouldn't be disappointed, and really I'm not, but you know, everybody's gotta start out small if you want to start something big. And at the same time, it's not even like I want to become a huge streamer or anything. Like, well, it would be nice, don't get me wrong, but it's not very realistic to assume that I'm gonna reach like 100,000 followers on Twitch. Okay, so we have one idler roller. Hey, we have a... Do we have a belt tensioner? Seems like we do not. No. We do not have ABS either. We have this. What suspension type? Probably... Oh, double wishbone. Double wishbone and it's river drive, okay. Good. So we need bottom suspension arms. This is an inlet 4 single overhead cam, so we need these. And camshaft caps. It does have, yeah, it does have actually no carburetors but an injection system. It does not have a cat as far as I'm aware. Then we have this. I think this is it. Yeah. And that. Do you have an exhaust manifold cover? We do not. We do not have any of these either. And then we have a flywheel. No front drive axle, because again this is river drive. Two of these. Knuckle B? Yep, okay. And then we have some coil spring rear suspension. And rear axle not closing B, okay. The cross member is short, okay. Front sway bar should be the regular one, isn't it? Yep, okay. 2 front wheel hubs, a fuel filter, a fuel pump, a fuel tank, then one of these. Then this. One of these. This. And some wires. Leaf spring plates. And U-bolts, yes, but no leaf spring. No leaf springs. Wait, did we miss the coil spring rear drive axle? Oh yeah, we did. Where are we? There we are. We do have a metal muffler. Okay, just a regular fan. And you do have this kind of rear muffler, I remember that. Then rear shock absorber B. No shock absorber caps. No rear springs either. Actually, yes. Rear shock absorber cap, rear spring and spring cap. Rear suspension cross member. We do not have that. We have a couple of rubber bushings, but wait. 4 up front, and then on the rear we have what? That was it? Just one of these? So we need 6 rubber bushings and that's it, basically. Then one of these. Okay. And I think this. Solid rear drive axle, solid axle control arm, 4 spark plugs, 2 spring caps, a starter, a steering rack, 2 of these I think, a throttle, pretty much for sure, then one of these, one of these, a water pump, 2 wheel hub caps, and I think that should be it. Not quite sure though. And I actually like this kind of gray color for this car. It suits it pretty well. So now we're gonna start working here. Man, that was not a lot of oil. Oh, we gotta get rid of the exhaust manifold first. So you know what? Let's get it down again and work on the engine as much as we can for now, and lift it up later. So yeah, the Twitch stream, like if you want to follow me, it's twitch.tv/Tom_Hanks. There are 2 broadcasts, like 2 videos that resulted on my first ever stream. I kind of separated them. One is about the Chrysler 300C, and my webcam was very blue because of bad setups. But on the second one, I get like let me explain this a little further. When my webcam is on, when it's running, like it has a small blue light that's glowing, and since you know that blue light goes directly onto me because like the webcam is directed towards me, otherwise you know what's the point. Like it basically makes me look blue, and that is obviously even more so the case when I'm wearing a white t-shirt like I was in that stream, and also because you know I'm sitting in front of a pretty large window and it also reflects that light. So you know I had to adjust the settings after that, and I did. And on the second video that is about the Corvette, which I also exported to YouTube, I am not blue anymore. Was this it for the engine bay for now? I think it was. Yeah, okay. So the Corvette replica is actually quite well received, got 100 views or so. Also, you can watch that if you want to see my face, like the face behind the voice, or whatever that, or however that expression goes. So yeah, actually I'm pretty satisfied with how the Corvette replica turned out. Maybe the headlights are a little bit off, but I'm pretty happy with the way I managed to do the tail lights. I think they're quite close actually to the rear ones. Now that we're here and removing the starter, we're also going to take out the pistons, just to not have to do that later. Okay, yeah, the taillights turned out pretty damn well, I would say. The engine is not 100% accurate, but it makes the right amount of power at the right RPM, but torque is off and also the RPM limit is too low. So you know, just little things. Then again, like a lot of people who buy Corvettes actually modify them and take them to drag racing. So it doesn't really matter what engine I put in there. Obviously, if I'm gonna title it as a Corvette C7 replica, I might as well build an engine that is close to the real Corvette's engine. At the same time, it's not a huge deal if it isn't all that close to the real one, because as I said, like a lot of people modify those engines anyway, and so in essence you can pretty much put whatever engine you want in there. And that's kind of the thing with my replicas. I know that people also enjoy, like people seem to almost enjoy engine builds even more than the aesthetic replicas. But I personally, I just think if you want to make a car, if you want to make a car that's supposed to be a real world car in automation, then what you really have to get right is the design, because you can build basically whatever engine you want in there, because it's automation. You have the freedom of, you know, creating whatever engines you want to and put them in whatever car you want to. And if the car that you're gonna put the engine into is supposed to be, say, well, a Corvette, then and the engine is gonna be different, then what makes this car a Corvette is definitely the looks, isn't it? So yeah, that is my opinion on the matter. And we've basically unmounted all the rear suspension already. We're now gonna go to the gearbox and do our work here, then take out the crankshaft because we've already gotten rid of the pistons. And then we only have to get this thing down again and remove the engine block. Then we can start rebuilding everything. I know I've said this before, but it would be great to have something something in the way of performance and tuning, just little bolt-ons, if you will, or just stuff like you know, custom like performance air filters and whatnot. Just simple things that you can do to modify your car. Like, it would be great to have those things in this game, because I think that like mechanics don't always just work on other cars, and they don't always, you know, restore cars with the 100% accurate original parts, stock parts. They oftentimes also, just because they are mechanics, just modify those cars a little bit, just so they're a little bit better than before, you know? For example, by fitting a performance air filter or something like that. Or by changing the spark plugs, or by, you know, I don't know, fitting a custom exhaust system or something like that. That's, I think this game should include stuff like that to make it even more authentic. Or, you know what? Fuck it. Don't worry about Car Mechanic Simulator 2015 anymore in that regard, and instead start working on this kind of stuff for Car Mechanic Simulator 2016 and make it good. Make it work. So this side of the front suspension is completed already, and we're gonna go to the gearbox now. And then complete this side of the front suspension. Alrighty. don't really understand why more modern cars are using McPherson struts instead of double wishbone suspension on the front. The only benefit I know from automation is that it allows you to have more space in the engine bay. So, well, that might be a reason. At the same time, like cars in the 60s and 70s had bigger engines than most of the cars today, or especially cars in the 90s and early 2000s. So you know, it's I kind of don't get why they went for McPherson struts, because at least that's what automation says. Double wishbones are sportier and more comfortable and offer better ride quality than McPherson's. So you know, what depending on what kind of car it is, you're pretty much always worried about either comfort or sportiness, and the wishbones do both of those things better than McPherson's, according to the automation stats at least. So you know, I don't really see the point why manufacturers went for McPherson's instead. I know that they have their reasons, and as I pointed out, one of them might be the engine bay volume, but I don't know if that's actually the reason why they are using them. And yeah, well, I realized one thing, that you're probably gonna say, oh yeah, sure, engines in the 60s and early 70s had bigger engines than cars of the 90s or 2000s. Sure, but they also had like huge bonnets, like huge engine bays. Like the cars had had such big. They were so long on the front, and they had just so much space available that they could afford to run double wishbones up front. Yeah, okay, that may be true, but at the same time, for example, just front engine and river drive cars in the 90s and 2000s, say Mercedes, BMWs, Mustangs and all that, they also had pretty large, like pretty long front ends, didn't they? Like they had like very long bonnets, and therefore probably quite a lot of space underneath the engine bay. However, there was more and more stuff that, you know, manufacturers wanted underneath the bonnet, like in the engine bay, like the ABS, like, you know, the servo pump, this just everything, the ECU, and well, pretty much every engine has its ECU right there, but you get the idea. There's more and more electronics in more modern cars, and all of them are gonna be put up front, and therefore they need more space in the engine bay, and so they're gonna have to either put smaller engines. Oh, we do have it per tension. Either smaller engines, or, you know, make the car more compact so they have more available space, and McPherson's are probably one way of achieving that. Whereas cars in the 60s or early 70s, they had nothing basically. They didn't have power steering, they didn't have ABS, they didn't have, I don't know, they didn't have any of those things that a modern car has, because those things didn't exist yet. And that's fine, that's kind of part of the charm of old cars, isn't it? is them really being about driving, not about, you know, what kind of fancy toys and features it has. Because that's, I know obviously a lot of young people who are not into cars, and they think, you know, if a car costs a certain amount of money, it has to have so many toys, and cars that offer lots of toys for a low price, for example, I think Kias or like Hyundais, they yeah, sure, on paper they offer a lot for the same money as, you know, German manufacturers, but the truth of the matter is they're not gonna drive as well, and they're also not gonna, you know, be as reliable. Just painted in this color. This is a slightly different gray, so it is not the same color again. I got this car for 9 grand on the auction center, so let's see what. It's 40k now, so I think I actually lost money on the restoration here. I think I may have lost money. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, click the like button, helps out a great deal. Subscribe for more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.